Today I'm going to show you how to make a basic chocolate cupcake. Stick with us to the end of the video and I'll show you some easy decorating ideas. Hi, I'm Taryn. Welcome to my kitchen studio. This is where I like to have fun with food and teach others simple cooking tips and tricks. If you find this video helpful, you can help me by liking this video and subscribing to my channel. So let's get started then. These are the ingredients we need. I'll leave the full recipe down in the description below. We've got flour, sugar, cocoa powder, salt and baking soda, and our wet ingredients are buttermilk, or you can use milk and vinegar. Again, that'll be in the description below. Oil, an egg and some vanilla essence. I'm going to put our dry ingredients into a big mixing bowl. Then I'm going to give it a whisk around to get rid of all the little bumps in there. Blend all those ingredients together. And I'm going to put the wet ingredients into another bowl. That's a double yolker. I'm going to give it a whisk around. It might look slightly curdled at this point, but don't worry, that's absolutely fine. Now I'm going to add the wet to the dry. And give it a good whisk together. And that's it, all mixed and nice and smooth in there. Next I'm going to put it into our cupcake pen. These are brilliant for putting the batter into our cupcake cases. It doesn't mess all over the place, especially good if you've got kids in the kitchen. Just put our cupcake cases into our tin and we're ready to pipe in our cupcake batter. You can do this with a spoon as well, I just find this much cleaner. Filling the cases about 3/4 full. These are ready for the oven now. I'm going to put them in a medium hot oven for approximately 12 minutes until they've risen nicely. Just taken these out the oven. And I'm going to check if they're cooked. They certainly smell cooked. I'll stick my little skewer into the middle, pull it out, and it's come out clean. So these are all done. We're just going to let them cool a little bit in the tin and then I'll put them onto the drying rack to cool completely. If you've come here from one of my other videos to see how to make a basic chocolate cupcake, you can probably go back now. Otherwise, if you'd like to see how to make a chocolate ganache, stick with us and we'll make that and then ice these little beauties. Let's make our ganache. I've got cream and chocolate. See the recipe below down in the description for the quantities, but basically it's 1 part cream to 2 parts chocolate. I've got a 70% chocolate here today, but you can use anything, little chocolate chips or 50%, whatever you've got lying around. So I'm going to put the cream into my pot. Then we're going to bring this to the boil. Once it's boiling, we'll add our chocolate. And then we'll turn off the heat and whisk it until a nice smooth ganache is formed. And there we are, a beautiful smooth ganache. Just have to wait for it to cool and then we can use it in a piping bag and pipe it onto our cupcakes. Our cupcakes are all cooled and ready to ice. I'm going to show you 3 simple decorating ideas. I'm going to start with our ganache, and I've got a little palette knife here, but you can use just a conventional butter knife. I'm going to just grab a little bit of that icing and spread it on. I find it's best to make my ganache the night before I need it so that it's a nice consistency. It will set hard overnight, but you can just melt it a little bit in the microwave to get it perfect spreadable consistency. When you've just made it, it's still a wee bit runny. And then I'm going to take a marshmallow and cut it into some little rings. Marshmallows have got a sticky side, so if we dip them into some sprinkles, it's going to stick to our marshmallow and look really pretty. Just going to dip these in, overlap them slightly like little petals on a flower. And I'm just going to put a little yellow lolly in the centre. So there's one little decorating idea. Now we'll do a Rocky Road style cupcake. I'm going to use a piping bag. This is a throwaway one, but you can get reusable ones. And I've got a big star nozzle here. If you don't have one, you can just spread on some ganache. Just going to cut off the end of my piping bag. I'll open it out. Pop my nozzle in. Curl the bag over my hand so that we don't get the chocolate ganache everywhere. This keeps it really clean and tidy. And I'm going to put the ganache in using my hand like a little grabber, pinching it off. Then we can lift up the edges, push down the ganache and give it a good twist. This stops the ganache coming back out the wrong end of the piping bag. I'm going to use my dominant hand to push the icing out and in a straight up and down motion, not a side on one. It gives you a neater finish. Just going to pipe a little rosette with a wee hole in the middle. And then to make these Rocky Road, I've got walnuts, marshmallows and glazed cherries. I'm just going to put some of these on here. And you can either leave it just like that, or we can put just a little bit of chocolate piping over the top. See the description below for a link to a video on how to make a paper piping bag and melting chocolate. I'm just going to put a little bit of this over the top to finish it off. And there's our Rocky Road. And our last one, I'm just going to make this Chocoholics Dream. I'm going to pipe a rosette on here. Again, you can just put this on with a palette knife, just give it a little spread if you don't have a piping bag. Got some of my favourite chocolates here, Ferrero Rocher. Just going to cut it in half and sit that on top there, with a few little white sprinkles to finish it. So there's our cupcakes, all ready to enjoy. If you found this video helpful, you can help me by liking this video and subscribing to my channel. Happy baking!